Here is your AI briefing for July 10, 2026, with 12 stories. Story 1. Can AI answer the $3 trillion question? Investors and operators are relitigating AI ROI tied to $3 trillion market impact, with new model-driven cost throughput targets and faster deployment timelines versus prior, slower pilots. Financial firms are shifting from experimental proofs of concept to production-grade systems that process millions of transactions daily. This operational shift demands rigorous governance to manage liability for automated financial decisions. Hype masks that $3 trillion is a projection, not cash. Operators betting on it risk liquidity if throughput targets miss. Story 2. Perplexity fine-tuned a Chinese AI model to match Claude Opus 4.8 at one-third the cost. Perplexity's team fine-tuned GLM 5.2 via post-training to emulate Claude Opus 4.8 behavior in production, using a cheaper open-source base with a frontier advisor at about one-third the cost. The team employed a two-stage post-training pipeline involving supervised fine-tuning followed by direct preference optimization. This approach allowed the model to replicate frontier-level reasoning without the computational overhead of training from scratch. Perplexity trades Claude's reasoning depth for cost, proving cheaper inference is viable when you accept the output is merely a mimic, not the real thing. Story 3. Anthropic found a hidden space where Claude puzzles over concepts. Anthropic's researchers used the Jacobian lens to inspect Claude's internal activations during question answering, revealing concept trajectories that range from routine to unsettling uncertainty in how signals propagate. Researchers observed that these trajectories shift significantly when the model encounters ambiguous or novel inputs, exposing internal states of high entropy. This suggests that current interpretability tools can detect when a model is genuinely unsure rather than simply hallucinating. Anthropic's Jacobian lens maps internal activations, revealing that AI reasoning isn't magic but a measurable, if sometimes unsettling, propagation of signals. Story 4. Meta enters the crowded AI coding battle with Muse Spark 1.1. Meta's Muse Spark 1.1 targets enterprise coders with agentic workload handling, bug fixes, and large code migrations, positioning it against rival AI coding platforms as adoption accelerates. The system utilizes agentic workflows to autonomously execute complex refactoring tasks across massive enterprise codebases. Meta's agentic pitch is just enterprise support with a marketing veneer, shifting the burden of complex code migration onto unpaid human oversight. Story 5. New York Times says OpenAI hid evidence in ChatGPT copyright trial. A new New York Times-led sanctions motion alleges OpenAI concealed datasets and identification tools for copyrighted outputs during the ChatGPT trial, risking discovery credibility and escalating publisher claims. The motion claims OpenAI used proprietary content detection tools to identify protected works before training, allegedly deleting records of that data. OpenAI's alleged evidence hiding transforms a messy copyright dispute into a credibility crisis, proving the company prioritizes litigation strategy over discovery integrity. Story 6. Meta patented an AI home device specifically designed to track your emotions and watch you take your medication. Meta's 2025 patent outlines an at-home wearable that logs voice, infers mood, and records medication timing, linking emotional tracking to adherence while intensifying privacy risks. The device employs computer vision and audio sensors to continuously monitor facial expressions and pill bottle usage without user intervention. Meta's patent for mood-tracking medication monitors turns patients into data mines, betting that convenience outweighs the inherent privacy invasion of constant surveillance. Story 7. OpenAI unveils long-awaited super app as rivalry with Anthropic intensifies. On Thursday, OpenAI launched ChatGPT Work, pairing ChatGPT with Codex so white-collar users can generate documents, presentations, and websites, directly challenging Anthropic's January-launched Claude Cowork. This unpatched state allows remote attackers to trigger a denial-of-service condition on vulnerable systems by repeatedly invoking the flawed process with crafted inputs. OpenAI bundles ChatGPT and Codex to compete with Anthropic. But work is just a wrapper that still forces humans to manage AI hallucinations in professional documents. Story 8. Microsoft's Patch Tuesdays are about to get bigger. Microsoft says Windows 11 Patch Tuesday releases will bundle higher volumes of security fixes after AI-based earlier issue identification, affecting customers starting with upcoming security updates and raising pressure on defense cycles. The expanded patch scope necessitates longer testing windows for IT administrators, increasing downtime risks for enterprise environments. This shift aims to reduce post-release vulnerability exposure, but strains internal security teams' capacity to validate comprehensive update bundles. Microsoft's AI-driven Patch Tuesday floods users with fixes, prioritizing speed over stability and forcing IT teams to chase vulnerabilities faster than they can test. Story 9. Anthropic, OpenAI, and SpaceX are bigger than the last 25 years of tech exits. Anthropic, OpenAI, and SpaceX's looming AI IPOs could together exceed all US VC-backed exits since 2000, signaling a faster capital re-rating than prior tech cycles. These valuations reflect a massive shift in capital allocation toward large language models and autonomous systems. Hype overload. Claiming these three IPOs eclipse 25 years of VC exits ignores inflation-adjusted valuations and the sheer volume of smaller, successful exits that actually built the economy. Story 10. ChatCut launches Codex plugin, bringing a full AI video editor into Codex. ChatCut's Codex plugin lets users generate and edit full video cuts inside Codex chats, returning changes as editable timelines that AI can continue iterating or users can fine-tune manually. The plugin integrates natively with the Codex terminal environment, allowing developers to trigger video editing workflows without leaving their code editor. This consolidation reduces context switching for full-stack engineers managing both application logic and marketing assets. ChatCut's plugin turns Codex into a video editor, yet forcing users to export timelines breaks the seamless code-to-output illusion they're selling. Story 11. Popular open-source AI developer tool Llama raises $65 million, grows to nearly 9 million users. Llama's $65 million funding, led by investors supporting open-source local AI, pushes the developer tool toward 9 million users by making PC-based models easier to run, benchmark-backed and backed by 176,000 stars and 17,000 forks. The capital fuels infrastructure scaling to support the growing local model ecosystem. Llama monetizes the open-source community that built it, proving local AI is just a sales funnel for cloud-dependent enterprise upsells. Story 12. China flags Anthropic Claude Code as backdoor security risk. China's Cyberspace Administration warned that certain Claude Code versions can exfiltrate users' location and identity data to remote servers without consent, differing from normal local execution. This regulatory action highlights global tensions over data sovereignty in AI development. Anthropic's coding assistant doubles as a spyware vector, proving local execution is a marketing myth when the API phone home. That is the briefing for today.